Hey guys, it's Kira from Budget and Hill, where I help women to get out of debt and out of financial survival mode. And the way that I do that is by teaching financial literacy, personal development, and accountability. And we do that inside of community. Here on the channel, I do budget with me videos, I go over my micro money dates, and I also give you guys information on not only how to, budget really in a healthy, healing way, but I also give you guys tidbits on how to improve your relationship with money overall. Okay. So before we jump right in, which I like to do, before we jump right in, I just wanted us to take an opportunity to ground. Today is Sunday, right? And we've had a week. Some of us had an amazing week. Some of us may have had a challenging week, but we are here another day, right, to endure. Okay. So with that being said, I now would like to transition to our agenda for my paycheck budget for January the 15th, 2026. So this is indeed my first paycheck, and I have the agenda here. So if you guys see me looking at my phone, that's what I'm looking at, and I'll have it on the screen for you. First thing we want to do is ground, right? When we talk about grounding, there are different ways to ground. Hopefully you are grounding right now by relaxing, watching this video or listening to this video. One of the ways I like to ground, like I told you guys before, prior to doing a video, I'll pray, right? I pray for God to guide me and to give you guys information and insight that's helpful, right? My goal, my intention is not to sit here and flex on you guys every 2 weeks by going over my paycheck. My goal is to help you, right? To give you a different perspective of someone who was drowning in debt and who's now not in debt at all, but is managing her money and making sure that I share my experiences with you guys with the intention of helping you, okay? And I'm also going to talk about my paycheck increase, my goals for this particular paycheck, as well as wins this pay period and challenges this pay period. Something else that I actually wanted to incorporate is community goals. I want us to have a community goal. And the community goal that I want us to have, I'll tell you, is to save $1,000, okay? As a community, your first $1,000. If you've already saved $1,000 or you have more than $1,000, then I want you to save $1,000 to keep in your house in small bills, okay? And I'll go into more detail about that later. The wins this pay period and challenges this pay period. So, transitioned into my paycheck budget. I received $2,386.06. Now, if you guys did not watch my previous paycheck budget, which I hope you did, if you didn't watch that, then I actually talked about how I went from making $1,803.06 to $2,300, almost $2,400. And the way that happened was I paused my 403B contributions because I learned about how high of a fee I was being charged. So right now I paused that. I did receive the paperwork to get started on my participant directed 403B, which I'm super excited about because it allows you to invest, right? Now, the only thing is you will not have the financial advisor to walk you through it. So it's not something I'm advising to you guys, but I'm just letting you know where I'm at, what I'm doing. But the participant directed program is a program that my job offers, which, to be completely transparent, I had no idea about. Nobody that I worked with knew about it. What we did know about was the 403Bs that are offered from different vendors. But because I did my due diligence, I did my research, I found out that this program is offered also. Now, y'all hear that airplane? I can't wait to get on that airplane, child. Anyway, I did do my research and I found out that this is a legitimate program, and they will charge me $65 per year as opposed to 1.5%. Okay, as opposed to 1.5%. So that is way more reasonable. And it is the funds that I will be invested in will be from Vanguard. So I'm super excited about that because Vanguard notoriously has low cost index funds. So I'm super excited about that, but I cannot tell you guys what to invest in because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA. I am a trauma-informed money coach, and I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing for me, okay? So with that being said, it says, count your blessings. Each paycheck is a stepping stone toward your goals. So that's how we're treating our income, right? Even if it's not as much as we would like or we're overzealous about it, we're treating all of it as a stepping stone towards our goal. We're using our income to fund the life that we desire, okay? Now, if we go, guys, if you hear some noise, I did tell you guys it was snowing. So there is shoveling outside, right? So I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. So when we come over to the right, you'll see the savings section. And in the savings section, it says, think and plan ahead. Your future self will thank you for the choices you make today. As you guys can see, my stress-free sinking fund, I'm allocating $100 to that. My investment sinking fund, I'm allocating $400 to that. My taxable brokerage account, which I told you guys about in my previous video, that was a goal that I desired to execute on in 2026, but I did it maybe like a few days before 2026. But the reason why I opened up the taxable brokerage account, well, let me backtrack. I have a pension from my job. I have a traditional IRA from a previous job. I have a Roth IRA, and then I have a 403B, which is actually paused. So out of those four, the only ones that are liquid, easily accessible to me before 59 and a half is my Roth IRA. That woke me up like, wait a minute. I can't access my money even if I wanted to until I'm 59 and a half. I don't like that. And the reason why I don't like that is because what if I decide to leave the United States? I have to wait until I'm 59 and a half? Like, no, my goal was to have access to my money. So one of the goals that I have for 2026 is to obtain more accounts that are liquid, right? So my Roth IRA, I can withdraw from that account. I can only withdraw contributions for my Roth IRA, right? Only contributions. I can withdraw contributions tax-free, okay? Penalty-free. But I would have to have had the Roth IRA open for 5 years, which I have. So if I needed to withdraw money from there, I would, but I'm not, right? But to know that I'm able to, that makes me feel good, right? Whereas the 403B, I can't do it. Pension, can't do it, right? Traditional IRA, can't do it. Now, there are different caveats, right? If you are a first-time homeowner, if you experience a hardship, something like that, right? But you don't want to pull your money out of your retirement accounts. That's for the future you, right? So what I want to do is to have more accounts that are liquid. So I have a high yield savings account, liquid. I now have a taxable brokerage account, liquid. I have the Roth IRA, liquid, right? So now I have 3 accounts that are totally liquid, and I feel a lot better. So I have 3 that are liquid and 3 that are non-liquid, okay? So I feel a lot better, and I feel like it's more balanced now. So that way, if the goal is freedom, right, you got to make your reality reflect freedom, right? So that's why I opened up the taxable brokerage account. So long story less long, I like to give you guys context though for why I'm doing what I'm doing. So for the taxable brokerage account, I allocated $550. Now, just to let you guys know, that $550 is what would have gone to my 403B, right? So just because I paused the 403B, it doesn't mean I'm taking that money and I'm going to blow a bag. No. I'm taking that money and I'm reallocating it to another account, to my taxable brokerage account. Once I'm done studying, doing the research to select the actual investments that I want for my new 403B, then that money will be reallocated to my 403B. But that's why I always say it's so important to plan what you're going to do with your money. You have to have a plan for it. If I didn't have a plan for that, Man, I know how to blow a bag. You think I don't know how to blow a bag? I know how to blow a bag. I've done it for years. I know how to blow a bag. But now I realize, you know what? You have to have a plan for your money. So that's where that money came from. So that's that. And then for household sinking funds, I am allocating $237.16 to my household sinking fund. Now, you guys may have noticed that I never add to my paycheck budget. You never see PSE&G, life insurance, car insurance, phone. The reason why you don't see that is because I pay those 5 bills at one time during the year. So how do I do that? I do that by writing down each and every bill that I have. I write down how much it costs for the year times 12, get that total number, and then I divide that number into 12. And that, for me, that comes to $237.16. So that's what I save inside of the household sinking fund. So by the end of this year, by the time it's time to pay those 5 bills again, I already have the money saved up and it's just a transfer. Okay. That gives me breathing room, right? I learned to do that when I was in debt. That gave me breathing room. And I started with the lowest bill I had, which was my cell phone, which is still $30 a month. Okay. And I have, who do I have? Metro PCS, $30 a month. And then I have my Roth IRA. So if you guys watch my previous videos, I used to contribute last year, 2025. I used to contribute $437.50, but I increased it this year. Why? Because last year, the limit was $7,000. This year, the Roth IRA limit is $7,500. So if I wanted to max it out again, right, I would have to increase my monthly contributions. And this is over a 16-month period. So it's really $468.75 times 16 months. So essentially how that works is January 1st, you can start contributing to your 2026 Roth IRA. Now it's up to you. You can pay the whole $7,500 in one shot, or you can say, you know what, I'm going to divide it into 16 months. So April 2027, that is the cutoff limit that you can contribute to your 2026 Roth IRA. Okay. If I get any windfall money, I might add it to it. But outside of that, I'm just leave it at $468.75. So that brings my total for savings to $1,755.91. Praise be to God. Because again, I say it all the time, but it doesn't change. I'm grateful that I'm able to save money. It has not always been like this. When it comes down to looking at the recurring bills, we have rent. I budgeted for to pay $694.82, but I'm actually paying $226.07. Okay. Gas, I budgeted to pay $30, but I paid a little more, $36.16. Laundry, I budgeted to pay $15, but I only paid $10. Easy Pass, I budgeted to pay $15, I only paid $10. Food, allocating $100 to food. Okay. And what I did with the food was, you guys, if you watch my previous videos, which I hope you did, I transfer the money. I'm transferring the money from my checking account to my food account. So my food account is a savings account that I have with a credit union. And essentially the debit card that I get from the credit union, I use that to purchase food. And that helps me to control my food spending, right? Because I can't use that card everywhere. I can only use it at like grocery stores, CVS, like things like that. But I can't use it like at Chipotle or something like that. I can't use it there. So it helps to keep me in line. And that's something that is very important. I want you to feel comfortable with trying different strategies, right? Separating your money. Try separating your food money from your bill money, from your savings and all of that, so that you'll be able to see if you're heavily influenced by inflation, which is something you can't control, or if you're influenced by your spending, right? Having that level of awareness and trying new strategies can help you on your journey. Okay. Church offering. I decided to stop writing tithes here because 2026, we're just living in our truth. Okay? We're living in our truth. The truth is, biblically, it says to tithe 10% of your first fruits. If I was tithing 10% of my first fruits, I would be tithing $238.61. But I'm offering $50. So instead of writing tithes here, I'm going to write offering to the church, okay? Church offering. Because it's not tithes in a biblical sense, okay? And we're just living in our truth. There's no need to like front. You're just living in our truth, okay? So our total recurring bills, which are the bills that are consistent, right, is $432.23. Now it says, pay your bills on time. Punctual payments pave the path to peace. It also increases your credit scores, okay? Now, when we come to the flexible spending, which is basically spending that is not fixed, it's the opposite of recurring. It's typically like a one-off or something that you can do without, something that will not harm you or your family. That is flexible spending. I have above and beyond fund from the church. I'm going to give $50, and I believe that is to help to fix the roof of the church. So I'll be giving $50 there. And then we come down. You guys remember I was saying I was on a credit card holiday. Holiday over. I utilized my credit card, and it is $42.73. Now, very important for you to take note. Although I use my credit card, I make sure I intentionally keep my balances as low as possible, low enough for me to be able to have control over paying them every month. Because we want to make sure we always pay that credit card bill off in full every single month, because we do not pay interest to other people. We don't want to pay interest to other people, okay? We want the interest paid to us, all right? So as we come over to our budget summary, it says take control of your finances. You got this, okay? My total income, here's the roundup, guys. My income for this pay period, $2,386.06. My recurring bills, $432.23. Flexible spending, $50. Debt, $42.73. Savings, $1,755.91. The total amount that I spent was $2,280.87. The amount that I have left is $105.19. Okay, so we have a surplus. So essentially that means that my income exceeded my bills, right? So I have more income than bills, which is a good thing, right? And my next money day is January 25th, 2026. I like to do my money days before my pay period so that I can literally plan out how I'm going to, spend my money when that check hit, when that direct deposit hit. Okay? So, with that being said, we are now transitioning to our cash flow compass. And a really cool thing about the cash flow compass is that it helps you to organize your finances. It shows you where your money's going, when it's moving, how it's moving, where it's moving from, where it's moving to, okay? So it legit helps you to organize your money, all right? If you look in the categories column, all I did was transfer the information that was on a paycheck budget to the actual cash flow compass. And then I wrote down the amounts in the second column. In the third column, I write down the due dates. In the fourth column, I write down the days in which I paid it, so there's no discrepancy, right? And then in the notes section, I just write where it came from so that I'll be able to track it back to where it came from, okay? And then once it clears, not when I write it down, once it clears, then I'll check it off. So if you see some that are not checked off, like rent, that's unchecked. Above and beyond fund, that's unchecked. Easy pass, that's unchecked. That means that those things have not cleared, okay? I don't check anything until they are cleared, all right? And for the cash flow compass, it says charting your path to prosperity. By embracing organization and taking control, you're not just managing numbers, you're creating your future and building your dreams, right? So this was designed, right? It was created to help you to work on your relationship with money, to heal your relationship with money, to reestablish your relationship with money in a way that feels safe, encouraging, empowering, right? And you get to do it at your pace, right? Don't forget, you can do it manually, which is actually my favorite. The reason why I like doing it manually is because, again, it puts you in a mindset that, okay, I'm working on my money, I'm working on my relationship with my money, I'm being intentional about overseeing my money and giving my money directions and instructions, right? So it helps to cultivate control, right? But it also comes in a digital version. If you like Google Sheets, it comes in a digital version for my digital girlies, okay? And you can use it that way as well. And for the cash flow compass, you see what the categories are. You can even add in different categories that apply to you, right? So it's also personalized. And again, it's intended to help you to create a better relationship with your money, okay? So I hope this has been helpful for you. Please do not forget to like, comment, and or subscribe, and share this video with someone that is on the same journey as you, okay? This is not something that we should be doing individually. This is something that we should be doing communally, okay? Because you are not alone, all right? And I will see you guys in the next video. Later.